Hi, and welcome to my cooking class. Today we are going to be doing a meal out of our Epic box that showed up for the month of October. Inside here, as you know, we've got meal solutions, tacos, beef stroganoff, buttered chicken, Thai coconut soup, tropical chicken. We've got some desserts, and I actually thought it might be a really good time. I'm dressed in orange. I thought this might be really nice. Matches my outfit. Actually, that's not the reason why I'm making it. I have leftover turkey. So that's why I'm making enchiladas. I mean, this is not enough turkey to feed a family of 4, but if you add some extra protein and wrap it up with some nice flavors, you're gonna have a meal for a family of 4 at a fraction of the price, and that's why you love Epicure. Gosh, these meal solutions are so darn easy. Literally, the instructions are right on the back of the package. It's basically making a mix. We're going to be wrapping up some protein with some veggies, stay tuned, and then you're gonna bake it. It is a meal that can literally go on the table in minutes. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a 4-cup prep bowl. I love these bowls. They're fabulous for serving, for mixing, for prepping. Just really handy, I swear. And the instructions, we're going to use our nice cutting shears, and we're just going to cut this off. We're going to dump this in, and we're going to add some water. Now, I always like mixing before I add all my water to it. I just find if you just add a little bit of water to your dry mix, it's really easy to get rid of the little clumps and bumps and that you might have in here. So make this nice and smooth. If you would sooner, I'm using a ceramic, or not a ceramic, I'm using our silicone knife, but if you want, this little mini whisk is a dream. Okay, so this will get rid of those. I love this little thing. It is so perfect for eggs. Like if you're just making scrambled eggs in the morning, you don't need a big whisk in a big bowl. Use the 4-cup prep bowl, a few eggs, whip it up, and you're done. We're going to add, like I said, we're going to add our water. And we're going to add tomato paste. So we need roughly about 3 tablespoons of this. You can use our 4-in-1 spoon. So I'm just going to clump this in. Now, one thing you're going to notice when you're using this spoon is half the ingredients, which is why I'm bulking it up. A lot of the ingredients stay on there. This is why you want the silicone knife. It fits perfectly in here. So you can get all that goodness right into the flavor pack that you've just made. You're still gonna have leftover tomato paste. Stay tuned. You could double this recipe, just so you know, because this recipe freezes like a dream, okay? So anyway, we've got this going. I'm gonna grab that whisk again because this makes way more sense. So we've got that tomato paste, and it is mixed up. I'm gonna put a little bit of this, not a lot, but just a little bit in a lined baking sheet. This is our silicone liner. And the reason I just want a little bit of this on here is I am going to literally coat my corn tortillas in the enchilada sauce, so every single bite has a perfect flavor. So just spread that out a bit. Perfect. And now we need to get our corn tortillas ready. So I've got our saute pan going here. I love the weight of this. I love the design of this. It is super, super nice. And this is induction friendly. It's a really good price point. And if you're looking to save money, host a cooking class, because this can be one of the items that you can get free or discounted with our host program. So fun food fact, Enchiladas are always made with corn tortillas, so this is a gluten-free. Now the only bad thing about corn tortillas is the size. Flour tortillas are much larger, so they're a little bit easier to roll. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to roll these, and that's another thing about corn tortillas, they tend to break, okay? So you do have to handle them with a little bit of care. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just drop this into a fry pan. Yes, don't watch. I'm heating this up and sticking my fingers in the pan. We just want to get a little bit of heat going on this, and we're going to just fry it up. Flip it over. This is going to provide a little bit of a barrier so that the enchilada seasoning or sauce doesn't soak in and make soggy enchiladas. Awesome. And then it's just simply a matter, let me move this a bit. Let's see. It's just a matter of dipping both sides, taking it out and wrapping it. Hence, the flexible cutting mat would make a little bit of a mess, right? So do that with all your corn tortillas. Because you've moistened it with the enchilada sauce, you'll find that it will not break up, okay? Now, if you wanted to do flour tortillas, you can do the same, okay? Flash fry them so they don't absorb and become a soggy mush, okay? Our sauce is mixed up. What we need to do now is we need to put it in the microwave and cook it for a couple minutes, just so all the flavors start building upon each other and release that deliciousness, okay? So in the microwave on high for 1 to 2 minutes. While the sauce is cooking, we're gonna grab another 4-cup prep bowl. And what I've done is I have actually drained and rinsed black beans. I mentioned earlier that I have a little bit left over of turkey. I have only about a cup. This certainly isn't going to feed a family of 4, but if you add a little bit of extra protein, like our black beans, you could use kidney beans if you prefer, but we're just going to add some flavor here. Now, I'm a spice girl. I love a little bit of extra spice. I had some pickled jalapenos in the fridge. Want to use them up. I've got our ceramic knife, and I just want to chop these into little cubes, instead of the slices, because they just might be too hot for some of the people's palate. If you don't want to put in the extra chilies, not a problem. Speaking of which, fun food fact, here we go. Enchiladas, the background on the word means to season with chili. This is what our enchilada sauce looks like now that it's been cooked. We can grab our little mini whisk, give it a stir. You can see how it's thickened up, and it's become this rich sauce. The last thing that we need to do with our leftover sauce here is we need to add a little bit of oil. This is coconut oil, so you're just going to grab your spoon, grab a fresh clean one here, and we're going to put roughly about a tablespoon of coconut oil. Now the heat does not need to go into the microwave. The heat from this being cooked in the microwave is enough to melt that oil. So our enchilada sauce is all ready to rumble. We've got a little bit set aside in a baking liner. We're going to grab our veggies, or not our veggies, our protein, and we're going to add about half of this into the protein that we're using today. And like I said, just use your leftovers. I'm gonna just grab a little spatula here. This is our saute spoon. It's sold in our kitchen collection. And just make sure that we give this a nice stir. Now I did chop up the jalapenos. We're gonna be adding those in a second. I don't want to add any extra juice. I did drain those, chop them and drain them. But we've got our leftover turkey, our black beans for our protein. This is the smaller size of our flexible cutting mats. And just so you know, when you purchase the flexible cutting mats, we have two of the large size and two of the smaller size. I like lots of flavor. So I'm just gonna let this sit for a few minutes. And then we're going to start wrapping and frying our corn tortillas. Okay, this has now been soaking. It's got lots of flavor, as you can tell. Now it's time for us to get our wraps ready. So what we're going to do is make sure that we get some extra seasoning here. So I'm going to grab a fresh lemon using our ceramic knife. Cut that in half. We're going to use our 2-in-1 citrus press. Remember, when you put this in and it's cut, the holes are in the bottom, so make sure you put it in this way, and you're literally going to invert it. I don't put it in this one because I just find it's just extra liquid. I want this to be on the top portion. Of course, because we're doing enchiladas, we're using our corn tortillas, and they are harder to wrap. I will be brutally honest with this, because they tend to want to break apart, right? So as you can see, because they're corn, they do tend to be a little bit harder to roll. But if you heat up your fry pan and then dip it in a little bit of the enchilada sauce, this moistens them up, but the frying actually creates a barrier. So I find that it is very helpful when you're rolling up your wraps. This is an induction-friendly saute pan. I love it. Look at the size of it. Okay, so we're going to drop this in one at a time. Just so you know, this is the difference between the corn tortillas and the flour tortillas. This is a flour and corn tortilla. You can get rice tortillas, but look at the difference in size. I've got our flexible cutting board. We're going to grab our meat over here. And what we're going to do, okay, we've got this heating. We consider our grip and grabs to flip them. Okay, and so once this has been heated really quickly, you're noticing I'm not browning it. I don't want it to get so cooked that it becomes, oh gosh, so cooked that it's brittle. So just enough to sort of create a seal, and then I'm going to literally just flip it. I don't know if you can see that. I'm flipping it in my enchilada that I've got in here. This moistens it up without making it soggy. We're going to transfer it to our flexible board. We're going to put a little bit of our protein in here. You're going to want to add a little bit of grated cheese. Just roll it up and put it in your steamer. So let's get this over here. Don't overfill it. It becomes way more difficult for you, but I hope you can see this. You're rolling it carefully, and you always put the seam down. Just like that. Oops. Here, let's turn it this way so you can see. Just like that.
Any of the songs I wrote older than a year or two, but I love you so. Oh, carry me home on your shoulder.
Okay, so we have our corn tortillas. I've got a little bit of the mix still in here. If you've got a couple spots in here, just add it. I've got a little corner that's vacant. Of course, it's not going to look as pretty, but who cares? I am not throwing this food away. So we've got that done. We are now going to drizzle over the rest of our cooked enchiladas. So just pour this on top. Wonderful. And we're going to take the last little bit of our cheese, sprinkle it over top, and again, decide what method of cooking you want to use, whether you want to put it in the microwave or if you want to put it in the oven. And let's get it baking. Right? When you take it out, just so you know, if you have cilantro and you love cilantro, feel free to put that on. I'm going to bake this now and we'll come back for the final results in just a minute. All right, enchiladas. Yes, this is turkey, bean, cheese enchiladas made with corn, tortillas. And remember, this all started because of the Epic box and this great little package of the enchilada mix. To make it a balanced plate, put some half your plate with greens. I've got some lettuce, some cauliflower, and some broccoli in here. If you have peppers, use peppers. You can use any dressing you want. You may just want to even squeeze a little bit of oil and the other half of your lime juice. You can use some of our seasoning like that guacamole mix that came in the collection. That makes a really nice sauce or dressing. And then you're going to use your flipper. Again, this is in our kitchen utensil set, and if you carefully just use this to cut in here, and I'm basically just separating them a bit. And you're carefully going to do this without making too much of a mess. Put this on your plate. If you have some cilantro and you love cilantro, with a bit of knife, you can wash your little bits of cilantro and just give it a quick little cut. Makes it always look nicer. Sprinkle that on. If you don't like cilantro, maybe throw on a little bit of your onion, and that is a perfectly portioned meal using our enchilada mix with basically a few ingredients, a can of black beans, a little bit of leftover turkey or chicken, and the sauce, tomato paste. If you double the recipe because of the can of tomato paste, you will actually be able to make 2 of the enchilada mixes. So thanks guys for watching today's cooking class. I hope I'm teasing you and showing you how you can literally put a meal on your table in less than 20 minutes, thanks to great little packages like the enchilada mix. Come back for another cooking class. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.